Nepal is one of the poorest nations in the world. The poverty is very great, and also the way their culture is in many of the rural areas, the girls have to work while the boys go to school, so the girls are uneducated. It makes them a prime target for these people who will come into that country and try to take the girls and in the human trafficking. They'll often trick families. They'll say, I'm a business person and I'd like to take your girl and hire her. I'll give her a good job, I'll give her education. And the families, they realize they can't provide for their daughter, so they will, in a sense, they'll say, sure, what future do you have with us? Please go with this man. You'll have education, you'll have a future. Sometimes there'll be a relative that will sell one of the girls, or perhaps the man will offer to marry the daughter and give her a better life. And in this culture, men can be much older than the girls. So what will happen is that they end up in India, and often the girls can't read, they're illiterate, so as they come to the border and it says welcome to India, the girls don't even have any idea that they're leaving Nepal and going into India. Next thing they know, they're being sold to a brothel, and the brothels are terrible places. They are literally imprisoned. They are locked in. The United Nations estimates 30 to 40 men a day in the area that we work at, that these girls have visits. These people can choke them, they can beat them, they can do anything because they've paid for time to do whatever they want to these girls. There's a high rate of HIV, STDs, and many of these young girls before the age of 20 will die because of AIDS. So what we do is that we go into these places and we ransom, we pay for their release. She never has to look over her shoulder again. She's free. We bring this girl back to Nepal. We have an office set up and where they stay. We have room and board. We provide counseling. And we try to get them back with their families. Many times families don't want them back. They want nothing to do with them. But in any case, we try to teach these girls job skills so that they are not as susceptible to these kind of tricks. The girls that we've rescued and who are now making these items are not only learning how to fish to make a living, but they are also an intricate part of the whole system, our whole program of rescuing the other girls, because they know part of what they're doing, the funds go to help rescue. Now, I've been asked the question, what happens if we rescue a girl, aren't they just going to replace her with another one? Unfortunately, the answer is yes. What we're trying to do with that is preventative education, and this is one of the biggest things we're trying to do. There's certain things we're doing. Number one, border patrols. The Nepali border guards, we are working with them, and we're establishing at these checkpoints, these border crossings, we're establishing surveillance outposts. We have a couple who are monitoring the traffic going back and forth. If they see, for example, if they see an older man with a young girl and he says, hey, we just got married and we're going to India for our honeymoon, our staff will separate them. The man will ask this man who has the girl, our staff will ask him, what's your new wife's mother's name? How many brothers and sisters does she have? And they'll ask some questions that he should know. And our staff woman will be asking the girl similar questions. If there's inconsistencies, they just wave to the border guards and they'll come over and arrest the man. And we have stopped many. This is one of the best things we have going. If we can stop these girls from even going into India and entering a brothel, then they don't go through all the pain and the suffering, the risk of AIDS or an STD. The counseling isn't needed as much. The families, there's not a problem getting them back to the family. So this is the best use of our money that we can do is preventative education. Some other areas that we're doing, we are hiring drama teams. We have a professional drama team that we pay to go to villages and remote areas, populated areas, very powerful drama. It teaches the people about HIV, about STDs. It teaches them about the tricks that these men will use to traffic these girls. Another thing we do, we help facilitate dialogue in villages. We bring villages together. In one setting, we had 7 different villages represented there, and they're talking about how they can stop the trafficking of their own daughters. They were coming up with ways. They took ownership of the problem. They were dealing with it. And it was so awesome to watch that happen. Another area is literacy, education. The girls cannot read or write. And so we have started literacy classes throughout the nation. And we are working to teach the girls how to read, how to write. And this will help them with education, will give them hope. It will be harder to traffic them if they are able to get jobs, if they're able to make a living in other ways. We do have sewing centers. We're teaching girls that have not been trafficked. We are starting to bring girls in villages that have not been taken. It's a part of the investment we make into their lives. That's ransomware. That's what we're doing.